You're welcome back to the details now. On the 7th of January, dozens of dignitaries, including President, will amass at the Black Star Square here in Accra to witness the inauguration of President-elect Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Well, ahead of that, Hannah Odame has been out and about to the Independence Square, looking at what the preparation has been so far. She has come through with this report.
Lots and lots of activities are ongoing here at the Independence Square to ensure that the swearing in of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the President of the Republic of Ghana is hitch-free. The stages are being built. A lot of renovations are ongoing, as well as paintings to ensure this place is sparkling. The star stand where Nana Addo Dankwa will be sworn in is also being constructed in a cordoned area. One thing that's going on here is a lot of cleaning, and one group that has taken upon itself to ensure this place is clean is V16, a core group in the MPP who have come here to clean the place of all the mess and rubbish. Let's speak to their leader, Ibrahim.
This initiative is not my personal initiative, but the regional initiative. And then, first of all, we have been monitoring this area since Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won the election, because we are all thinking the inauguration day to be serious in this country. So I think many people are coming from different countries to this country for the inauguration. And then we, as a volunteer group, we are also monitoring the Independence Square where the inauguration will take place. But we were watching that nothing is going on here, especially in terms of the refuse and even the seats where the people will sit on that day. Every place is dirty, and we are seeing Zoom Lion working here all the time. But we are not seeing anything, because we have come here this morning to work, and what we have seen this morning, I think, is very bad.
But you said you saw Zoom Lion. Haven't they cleaned the place?
Yes, I've been seeing Zoom Lion all the time in this place, but I don't see the type of work they are doing here, because I can tell you the work we have done this morning, I don't believe something is going on here. Somebody is working here, and I don't think something going on, will come on Saturday, will go on here.
In terms of cleaning?
In terms of cleaning, yeah, for me. So that's why we, the V16, we took that initiative. The reason V16 took that initiative, that we are come to clean the place. For we also to make sure Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will get a better place here for him to be sworn.
We have 5 days more. Are you going to be cleaning every day?
For now, we have come to clean today. And from tomorrow going, we will start monitoring if the Zoom Lion will continue, because we have created awareness for them that here is dirty. And we are just leaving for them to continue. But we will monitor from tomorrow going up to the D-Day. So if they are not doing it there, we will come and continue doing and cleaning for the inauguration to take place.
Are you being rewarded in any way?
No. I think our president should be decent and clean in every way. You understand? So far as we are work for our president has been led, we are work for it. Now we have to make sure our president will be sworn. If you swear before we will finish our work, before our work will be finished.
I have also seen some members of Zoom Lion lending their support to clean this place. Some members of state protocol are also here to ensure that everything they have put on paper is carried out thoroughly here at the Independence Square. In the next 5 days, this place will be buzzing with lots of activities as a new president is sworn in. Keep your dials here on Joy News, and we will bring you all the details. From the Independence Square, my name is Hannah Odame.
And here in the studio, my name is Gifty Andopia, and I've got Hannah Odame right here in the studio with me to tell us, give us some more details about what she saw there. I mean, we've seen some of them. Your camera has captured some of them, but of course, it's not everything. But here on Pulse, we've got all the time in the world, don't we, to talk about the details.
Now, Gifty in the seat.
Let me start by asking you about what's on paper. You mentioned that the state protocol was there to make sure that everything that's on paper, and I'm wondering, is there anything on paper at all? What's on paper?
Yes, I had the opportunity to see the construction, how the place has to be put up on that day. Now, there was a bit of misunderstanding between those who were setting up the stage and then the state protocol. Obviously, they wouldn't speak to us. I went to them to speak to them, and they wouldn't speak to me. I think the stage that has been mounted, what we saw, was in a location that was not originally agreed.
Okay.
So then they have to change the position.
Okay. So who put the stage there? And
It's a Stagecraft. It's a company called Stagecraft.
Okay.
They mount stages, big stages.
Okay.
And so I saw 2 of them. And according to one of the organizers who refused to talk to me on camera, she said that they started mounting that stage on 30th. Today is 2nd.
So they've been doing that for the past, what, 3 days?
3 days. So for them to relocate was going to be difficult, but she said they had to do it anyway.
Okay.
And so you saw the stage. It has the blue canopy, turpentine on top of it, and they have to change it. And that was a disagreement that I saw. But I saw how it was supposed to have been constructed and fitted.
Okay, so this is the
exactly this one. And
okay, we lost
unfortunately,
it.
Unfortunately, we lost it, but it wasn't at the right place, and so they had to change it. And we also saw some people cleaning. We saw a lot of people painting. You know, the Independence Square comes alive when there's a program, and so that was what was going on
with whitewash and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I think a lot of cleaning needs to be done at the place. I think so.
If you say a lot of cleaning needs to be done at the place, what was the sanitation situation you saw? I mean, why do you say that a lot of cleaning has to go on?
It's not too bad, but there's still the chairs have to be cleaned.
Okay.
The walkways have to be cleaned because there are bits of sachet water, wrappers, and then bottle mineral bottles. All of our things are scattered. At the back of it, where the urinal is, if you know the place very well, it's a bit bushy, because there'll be dignitaries coming from different parts of Africa and probably the world.
But along the line in your visuals, we kind of saw some people cleaning. Is that the Zoom Lion? And what really was their role?
Interesting. Okay. We met them, and they are a group in the MPP. They call themselves V16. V standing for Victory 16.
I see. Victory 2016.
Victory 2016. That was last year for the elections. Now it's about. They told me there are about 60 different groups in the MPP that have come together. Okay. Youth for Nanado, Help Nanado Win, all of that. They've come together, and they think that the cleaning should have started probably even last week, but they haven't seen any organization cleaning the place. So they are going to take up the opportunity and clean the place. So they started from the Independence Square, the beach that gets into the Independence Square. They are moving all the way to Makola to Tudu. They want to ensure that the place is sparkling clean. And then you remember I asked him, how long are you going to do this? Because the inauguration is on Saturday, 5 days away. He said every day they will be there.
But was there any conversation between they and the state protocol or any of the organizers? I mean, were they engaged in any way whilst you were there? Did you see that?
I didn't see that. But when we got there, they said they had just spoken to some of the people who had come from Zoom Lion, and Zoom Lion had lended their support. Just that there were a few Zoom Lion members, about 10 or 20. That's what the lady told me. So there were not a lot to be able to clean the whole place, Independence Square. But their thinking is that probably in the days ahead, they might come and at the finishing touches. But according to this group V16, they will be there every day until the midnight of January 6th. That's what they told me, to make sure that the place is clean.
Do they have endorsement of the party's leadership? Do we know that?
I don't know about that one. That's something I should have asked them. Like, they don't have, but they said that he's the Greater Accra Regional Director of the V16, and they've been doing this for the party whenever there's an occasion.
What did they say there for the V16? The V16 itself is it like a known?
I don't know. I have never heard
You've
about
never
it.
Heard of.
But it's a coalition of different minor groups in the MPP that have come together. So we have Youth for Nanado coming together to be part of this group. We have Help Ghana coming to be part. So they are the little ones. I'm sure you might know, but the V16 I have not also ever heard.
In a very rough estimation, how many people are we talking about here?
You mean the V16?
Yes.
Oh, those who were there were about 200.
Oh, about 200.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of them, and they are so enthusiastic, very happy. They think that their president should be sworn in a very neat environment. So they are going to do it. Some are from Okaikwe, because you could see at the back of their T-shirts where they come from.
Where they come from, the constituency that they represent.
Yes, that they represent. Thank you for that. So I saw some from Okaikwe, some from Lejikuku, some from Osu Klote, and they were from all over the places. They've come to ensure that the Independence Square is clean, sparkling clean.
Interesting. Do we have any information from Zoom Lion? Have they got any contract at all to do, do cleaning?
Yes, that's something I'm going to follow up on, because just when we got there, they were driving out, they were moving out. I'm sure they had other places to go. So you realize I couldn't catch them for my stand-up, but we have to follow up and ask them whether when they intend or they will go back to clean the place.
Well, I believe that the transition team can also help us with some information. Perhaps in a bit we will try and raise one of them who has been speaking, Kojo Ponkruma, to speak to us. We don't have him at the moment, but we'll keep trying. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, Hannah. But how are you enjoying the, holiday? I know you're working, but I mean, you've been out and about. At least you've seen stuff, you've seen things. And
I think all in all, I have enjoyed it. I'm grateful to God. At least we had that little break, because I was breaking down.
Oh, did you say that? They won't hear you. Don't worry. Finish up.
That little break was good. At least I got refreshed, and we are back. It's a new year.
It's a new year, and we're back with a lot more news report, information, running all the way to give you nothing but the best. Thank you very much, Hannah. But at the moment, we'll move on from that story, and let's talk about the former mayor of Accra, Natnunu Amatefio. Well, he is urging President-elect Nana Akufo-Addo to appoint a mayor who can deal with growing population challenges that's facing the country's capital. I'm talking about here in Accra. He was speaking earlier on with one of my colleagues, and we do know that the city is currently faced with sanitation, accommodation, and other challenges due to the population growth. The former mayor was speaking exclusively to Joy News.
I wish the new mayor luck. He's inheriting a city with tremendous potential as well as considerable problems. He has a constituency which is making itself each month, each year. The population keeps growing, and the problems associated with the population growth will bedevil his administration. But on the other hand, he's also sitting in a city with a tremendous number of young people who are enthusiastic for a good beginning. On a more practical level, he will be under tremendous pressure with the usual bugbears of what's he doing about sanitation. Sanitation is important, but it's also very important that what kind of policies can he institute which will reduce poverty in the city. There are far too many young people walking in the streets of Accra, trying to hustle pathetic little souvenirs, water, all kinds of things just to make ends meet. The fact that they have not given up on life and are still willing to work to earn a living is very much positive. But he, as mayor, has to create conditions in which they can make their lives much better. And that's something he has to look to. I have been told that the government really has plans maybe to elect the mayors of the future. I don't know whether this will, I don't believe that will come in to affect the nomination of our next mayor, but it's certainly something that we should keep in mind. He should keep in mind the possibility that one day he may have to ask the electorate for a mandate to rule this city. The city is growing in many different directions. Frankly, the cities have grown so far out that as much as we have worked to create infrastructure for traffic, the city is getting more and more choked. And the mayor will have to find ways of lessening the density of the traffic circulation in Accra. And whenever he comes in, he'll have to do that. Accra has always had a big problem that what kind of qualifications do you need for your mayor? Sometimes politicians are nominated and they focus very much on political issues. Very occasionally, very technical people, architects, engineers, are nominated, and their focus goes on to the infrastructure. Ideally, you need somebody who is just as comfortable with talking to engineers, reading their plans, executing their plans, as being at home with the bankers and the politicians, because Accra is growing to a point where it can no longer subsist on the monies handed to it by the central government. The city will have to find ways of generating substantial amounts of money in order to do the things that are necessary. We have a big problem in housing. We have to find ways of creating housing. We have been aware of the need for housing for years, but government has practically abandoned the idea of housing the nation to the private sector. The result that we have a lot of very expensive gated communities appealing to 1% of our population who can afford to pay $200,000 or $300,000 for a 3-bedroom condo. That is not what Accra is about. Accra is about a lot of young people trying to make a life for themselves and who would need housing that they can afford at maybe $50,000 or $60,000. So if we're going to get a new mayor, he has to think in those terms. If not, there is more of the same.
Well, that's Mr. Matthew there. Well, he has been credited as one of Accra's best mayors. On the back of what he said, we hit a town to find out what ordinary Ghanaians like you and I think about the next mayor, or who next should be appropriate for the job. Here's what they've got to say.
Yeah. Okay, another thing is that many people believe that sometimes the appointments of these mayors of Accra is not based on technical expertise and qualification. We know that the former mayor of Accra, Stanley Jerry Blankson, was an architect. And then the mayor of Accra, who is just going, is an educationist, but he conducted himself very well. What do you expect the next mayor to have as qualities?
Okay, actually, what I would say is that nobody appointed anybody to an office just for appointment's sake. Because the person who is appointing him knows him very well that though he studied physically, people think that he studied education, but it's not like that. Because we have people in parliament, the course they studied is different from what they are doing in the parliament. But I know that the person they've appointed, he is going to do something great because the appointee know why he appointed him in there. So it's not any measure of whether he is like this and they've appointed him to be like this. Though people may see that it counts, but to me, I see it is okay. What is needed is the job he is going to do. If he can do it, then it's okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You see, we need a massive infrastructural development in Accra. When you watch this drainage system and stuff, it's very bad. We need someone who can tackle this drainage system. Sometimes when it rains, look at the Odo River, and they have to. The next mayor have to make sure it clears all those people along the Odo River, right? So that it will be dug for free flow of water. When it rains, we will be safe. And most of the time, these containers around, they are giving a lot of problems.
So do you expect the next mayor to have a technical expertise, or you want just anybody who can do the job as you want it?
Definitely, you can't just come and say you are a mayor without knowing anything. You have to be technically inclined, you see, so that you can do the job well. You see, you can't just pick somebody to. So I'm expecting the next president to be very vigilant in picking the mayor of Accra, because there's pressure here, I'm telling you.
What do you make of the situation where political parties or presidents appoint political people to occupy some of these positions? Do you think it will help?
If a political appointment who doesn't know the job, how can he function? They must look for someone who can do the job and do it really well, because we need this. Accra needs to be developed, you see. And this, I'm trying to repeat myself again. These containers on the road, you see, on the gutters, it's not good. They have to clear all those things.
The problem we have here in Ghana is that whenever an expertise or anybody who knows how to do something best, you either belong to a particular political party, otherwise, whether you have the expertise, the technical know-how, you will not be given the opportunity to serve. But then I think that our democratic dispensation, we are at a point where we must be able to move away from partisan affiliated appointment, but then we have to look at a holistic view of the nation, what will benefit the nation as a whole, what will go a long way to promote development in the nation, but not a personal appointment which the person may not qualify to head the department, and yet the opportunity is given to the person because he is affiliated or is a party member. And so you can see that we have a lot more people who are qualified for the job, and yet they were not given the opportunity. Why? Because the person does not belong to party A or party B.
Okay, so now what specific qualities are you looking out for in the next mayor of Accra?
The next mayor of Accra, you realize that we have a lot of problem in Accra. And as I speak to you right now, the mayor must not segregate and think that this is where a lot more of Party A members are, and therefore maybe looking at a specific area of development. A mayor must not be biased. A mayor must not be a politician. And I think that he should be a neutral person, somebody who have the nation and the region at heart, to make sure that development, whatever needs to be done, is extended to every part of Accra. And one of the problem we are facing here in Accra personally is the area of discipline, where people can litter around. And maybe there could be any constitutional bylaw where binding that when you litter around, you are arrested and fined, so that all of us will get involved. And I think that that is one of the things that will help us, because the country, or specifically our Accra here, is a lot of filth. I mean, look around. It's a lot of filth, a lot of dirt around. So I'm looking at a mayor who will be up to the task and make sure the proper work is done.
Okay, under the MPP administration, the mayor that we had, Stanley Ejiri Blankson, was an architect. We also know that the current mayor of Accra, Oku Vanderpoy, is an educationist. So specifically, the next mayor of Accra, which of the qualities do you expect him to? Should he be an engineer? Should he be an architect?
You know, you realize that Accra, most of the major problem we have been having is when there is a flood. It hit us a lot, and you realize that how people build, how people settle around, close to gutters, close to rivers and all that. And so you realize that this mayor must have an overview of how the settlement, I mean, how structures are put around. And so I'm looking at somebody who is an engineer on rented, so that you restructuring of things, because where unauthorized structures are cited, could be asked to get them rid of them, so that a proper demarcation will be done for waste, and proper demarcation will be done for gutters, so that we will not have an occurrence of such disasters that we have had before. So that is what I'm looking at, somebody who really is up to the task and know what he's about to do.
Those are some views on the streets of Accra, some of the people speaking with my colleague Komla Adom there on their expectations of the next mayor. We'll take a very quick break. When we return, we'll do a bit of analysis on this. This is The Pulse. Please stay with us.